Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are really getting into some foundational material.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about a classic, Dr. Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
And we're specifically looking at the audiobook based on a pretty detailed review we found.
Right. Our mission here is to kind of distill it down, to give you the shortcut to understanding how people try to reprogram their minds. It's a 6, maybe 7-hour listen otherwise.
And it all really boils down to this one huge idea, one that you hear everywhere but maybe don't fully get.
Your thoughts create your reality.
Exactly.
And that idea places this book, squarely in the mind power self-help genre. It's decades old, but it's still the bedrock for things like the law of attraction.
So how does he even start to explain a concept that big? I mean, without getting super technical.
He uses this one analogy that it sticks with you.
Okay.
He says your subconscious mind is like fertile soil, just completely fertile ground.
Fertile soil.
Yeah. And it's totally non-judgmental. It doesn't care if you plant good seeds or bad seeds.
I see.
So if you're constantly planting seeds of worry or doubt or fear, well, that's the harvest you're going to get. Negative experiences.
But if you deliberately plant positive seeds,
Beliefs in success, health, peace, then that is what the soil is obligated to grow. That's what you experience.
so it's less about fighting the bad thoughts and more about conscious gardening.
That's the perfect way to put it. And the way he suggests you do that gardening brings us to the listening experience itself.
Right, because the source was all about the audiobook. What's that experience like?
Well, it's described as being like a calm, meditative classroom.
Okay, so not your typical high-energy podcast.
Not at all. The narration is slow, it's peaceful, almost spiritual. And it's designed that way. The review even suggested when to listen.
Like when you're relaxing or walking, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or even right before you go to sleep, first thing in the morning.
And I guess that slow pace is deliberate, right? It's not just a style choice.
Totally. It's a point of contention for some, I think. We all want to listen on 2x speed. But the whole point is to get past your conscious analytical mind, that filter.
When you're relaxed or sleepy, your guard is down.
Your guard is down, and the subconscious is just more open. It's basically a user manual for hacking your own operating system.
So what does this user manual promise to teach you exactly?
It's pretty comprehensive. How the subconscious works, how to reprogram it, how to use affirmations, and then a ton of real-life stories about healing, success, all of that.
Okay, so let's get into that. The actual instructions. The review broke it down into 5 key principles, right?
5 core lessons. Let's start with the first one.
Go for it.
Lesson 1. Your mind works like a magnet.
A magnet. So what you think about, you attract.
Yep, good or bad. The subconscious is just an amplifier. It takes whatever you're thinking about most, whatever you're feeling most, and just brings more of it into your life.
Okay, but here's the classic question. What if I'm thinking about being prosperous all day, but then I get laid off? I mean, how does he explain that?
Well, that's where the non-judgmental part comes in.
Right.
If you spend, say, 80% of your day saying, I am wealthy, but that other 20% is spent in this intense emotional fear about debt.
The fear is a stronger seed.
It's a much stronger seed. The subconscious responds to the emotion, the repetition. The worry can often cancel out the intellectual wish.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense. It's about the feeling, not just the words.
Precisely. Which leads us right into lesson 2.
Which is?
Repetition creates reality. This is the practical tool. This is where affirmations come in.
So this is how you plant the new seeds.
Exactly. You do it daily, repeatedly.
Right.
You're constantly watering the positive thoughts to replace the old negative ones.
Did the source give a specific example of an affirmation he uses?
It did. A classic one. It's simple, positive, present tense. Every day I am becoming healthier, happier, and wealthier.
Simple enough? You just have to do it.
It's all about that regular intentional input to override the old habitual thoughts.
Which brings us to lesson 3. The subconscious controls your habits and behavior.
And this one explains so much. You know that feeling when you know what you should do, but you just can't make yourself do it.
Ugh, yes. All the time.
Murphy says that's because your actions don't come from your logical mind. They come from those deep, pre-programmed beliefs.
So if you have a deep down belief that you're just not the kind of person who succeeds,
You will unconsciously sabotage yourself. You'll find ways to fail.
so his whole thing is change the belief and the behavior changes automatically.
That's the mechanism.
But I mean, come on, that sounds simple, but it's not easy, is it? Changing a core belief you've had your whole life?
He argues the technique is simple, but it takes persistence. It links back to that soil metaphor. You don't argue with it. You just keep planting the new seed, especially when you're relaxed. You have to feel the reality of the new belief.
Feel it, not just think it.
Exactly. Which is where lesson 4 gets, well, this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Okay.
Imagination is more powerful than willpower.
Oh, wow. That flips the whole hustle and grind culture on its head.
It really does. Because we're always told to just use more grit, right? Just force yourself.
Yeah, sheer willpower.
But Murphy says that's just your mind fighting itself. It creates all this resistance.
How is imagination stronger?
Because the subconscious doesn't really respond to logic or force. It responds to images, to emotions, to mental pictures.
So you're saying if I try to use willpower to drag myself to the gym, my brain just registers that as pain.
As a struggle, yeah. But if you vividly imagine how great you'll feel after the success, the energy, the subconscious accepts that picture as a desirable reality.
And it starts to align your actions with that picture. It makes getting to the gym feel easier.
Or even exciting, yeah. So visualization isn't a substitute for action. It's the catalyst for it.
That's a huge distinction. What does he say to visualize for?
He focuses on 4 things: healing the body, reducing stress, attracting success, and building confidence.
And the final one, lesson 5, this one ties it all together, right?
It's the ultimate insight, repeated over and over. It's the law of belief. It is not the thing, but your belief about the thing, that matters.
So it's not the medicine, it's your belief in the medicine.
That's a great example. If you believe, with real emotional conviction, that you can succeed or heal or find love, the subconscious works to make that your reality.
Okay, so that's the framework. Let's step back a bit. Let's talk strengths and weaknesses. What makes this book so enduring?
Well, the biggest strength is that it's simple. It's powerful, but there's no complex psych jargon.
Approachable.
Very. And it's incredibly motivational. All those real-life stories about career, health, money, they give you a sense that this is possible.
So how does it stand out from, say, more modern books like The Secret that talk about similar things?
I think the analysis we saw was really clear on this. Murphy explains the mechanism much more deeply.
The why.
Exactly. The Secret might tell you to visualize a new car. Murphy explains why that visualization works, how the subconscious accepts the command, the whole spiritual framework behind it. It's the full engineering manual, not just the on switch.
I like that. But okay, for balance, it's not for everyone. What are the weaknesses?
There were 4 main points.
Uh-huh.
First, as we said, the narration can be way too slow for some people.
Right.
Second, some of the examples, they can feel a bit too miraculous, very faith-based.
That could be alienating for a skeptical listener. How would you reframe that for someone who's not spiritual?
I'd say you can translate infinite intelligence to maybe the incredible power of your own mind, your reticular activating system, deep self-hypnosis. The placebo effect is real.
Right. The mind-body connection is scientifically proven.
It is. The miraculous result is just the full power of your own mind pointed at one single goal.
Okay. What were the other 2 weaknesses?
Third, it is repetitive. But you could argue that's the point, is trying to drill the ideas in.
Right, like an affirmation itself.
And finally, yes, it's definitely more spiritual than scientific in its language. You have to be open to that.
So when you put it all together, who is this for today? Who should really listen to this?
I'd say anyone really looking for personal transformation. If you feel stuck, if you're dealing with fear, anxiety, self-doubt, this gives you a blueprint for changing the core programming.
So it's for people on that self-growth journey.
For sure. The final verdict from the source was glowing, a 4.8 out of 5. They called it transformative and peaceful.
That's a strong endorsement.
And, if we go back to that central conflict,
Yeah.
the one between imagination and willpower,
Yeah.
if your subconscious really does react strongest to images and emotions and belief, it makes you wonder. If you focus relentlessly on belief and visualization, does that brute force grinding willpower become, a secondary tool, maybe even an unnecessary one?
Huh. That's a fascinating question. Should we all be working harder or just imagining better?
That's something to think about.
It really is. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. Thanks for walking us through it.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.